Hey everyone, in this video I'm gonna teach you how to run DeepSeek locally on your computer using Ollama. You will be able to run it from the command line like this, or from a much more user-friendly interface with ChatBox. If you've been testing DeepSeek lately, you probably noticed that the service is very unstable at the moment, making it almost unusable sometimes. So let's see how you can avoid all that by running it locally. This is going to allow you to explore this powerful model without interruptions, and this is also a much better option for privacy because everything you say, all the files you upload in your prompts are not going to be sent anywhere. They're going to stay on your machine. So this is also a great option for enterprise use cases. So let's get this rolling, but first, please hit the like button and subscribe to the web schools to support this channel. Thank you so much, and let's start this tutorial. So to get started, head over to ollama.com with double L, and you can download the version for your operating system. So I'm going to download the version for Mac OS. Now the download started, you can see it's very quick. So once you download it, double click to open it. Let me choose to move to applications. This is something that doesn't happen on Windows, but on Mac. So let me go ahead and do it. All right. Click next. Now let's install the command line. Now the work regarding Ollama is done. It's telling you to run this command in the command line. But you don't have to do this because we are not going to be using the Llama 3.2 model. We are going to be using DeepSeek's model. So you don't have to do anything now. You can just go back to the Ollama website and go to models. As you can see, we have Llama 3.3, Llama 3.2. This one is the one that was suggested in the previous screen. This is the AI model from Meta. If you want to explore other AI models, you can see you have a big list here that you can experiment. We are going to be using the DeepSeek R1. So if we go here, this is the command that we need to run. This simple command right here is going to get the 7B model. If we scroll down, you can see 1.5B, 7B, and so on. And the model that is complete is the 671B. Do not download this one because this is not going to work on your machine. Not only the file size is going to be gigantic, you will need 768 gigabytes of RAM. If you consider that most personal computers have either 8, 16, or 32 gigabytes of RAM, it's going to be impossible for you to use this one. So if you just run that command, you are going to get the 7B, which is the distilled model that can run fine on computers with 16 gigabytes of RAM. If you're not sure how many gigabytes of RAM you have on your machine, just download the 1.51. This is going to run fine on computers with 8 gigabytes, which is the starting point for most computers today. If you're sure you have 16 available, then you can go ahead and install the 7B. So let's copy this command. And now let's go to the terminal. On Windows, you can press Windows key R, then search for CMD to open the command prompt, and you can run this command. On Mac, I'm just going to press Command Spacebar and search for the terminal. And I'm going to run this command to install the DeepSeek model on my computer. So this is going to take a minute or two. So let me speed up the video until this is finished. Alright, so now we have DeepSeek R1 model running locally, which means we can use it without any interruption. So if we ask any question from the terminal, we're going to have the same answer we were going to have from the web version. For example, let's ask it to explain gravity for a 10 you wrote. Now what we're seeing here is the reasoning. You can see that the thinking process starts here. So this is not the answer yet. This is the reasoning part. You can see how it's coming up with the answer, which is super cool. And down here, that's the end of the thinking process, and the actual answer is this one. Now that you have this, you can run DeepSeek from the terminal on your computer. You can do this from any terminal. For example, if you have Visual Studio Code and you open a new terminal, we can run that command again. And as you can see, this is running from here. And you can see it's working perfect. This is much faster than the web version. However, this is not a very friendly interface. We don't want to be using DeepSeek from the terminal like this. So let's go ahead and install a more user-friendly interface that's going to allow us not only to send messages, but also to upload documents and everything we were doing from the web version of DeepSeek. So I'm going to close this and let's search for ChatBox AI. This is the one we are looking for. It's chatboxai.app. Be careful because there is one called chatboxapp.ai. This is not what we're looking for. Pay attention to the logo and the correct address. Here you should have the version for your operating system showing by default here. So in my case, it's macOS. I'm just going to click here. If you are downloading for Windows, you only have one option, but for Mac, we need to inform if we want to download for Apple Silicon chips, so M1, M2, M3, or Intel based. If you are not sure what is your chip, you can press Command Spacebar on Mac, search for System Settings. Now here you can go to General, then About, and as you can see, you have the details of your system. In my case, I have the Apple M1 Max. If you are seeing some Intel chip, then you are going to download the Intel version. For me, this is going to be Apple Silicon. Let's go ahead. But again, for Windows users, I don't think there's this option. I think the download is going to start immediately. Let me go ahead and download it. Now let's click to install it. Need to move this to the applications folder. On Windows, this is going to be slightly different, but it's just like you install any other software. Alright, so once this is done, you can just search for ChatBox. We can see it's right here. Let's open it up. Now we need to configure which model provider we're going to use. Remember, we just downloaded the DeepSeek model to our machine using Ollama, so we can use my own API key or local model. Now here you can just choose the Ollama API or just choose Add Custom Provider, which is going to end up in the same place. Now you can select the Ollama API from here as well. Now once you do it, you are going to have access to the models you have downloaded for your computer. So as you can see, I have both Llama 3.2, which I downloaded earlier, and also DeepSeek R1 7B. If this is not working for you, you can go to this tutorial and you are going to have some instructions for troubleshooting. But as you can see, I just installed everything now, just chose the Ollama API here, and the model is showing correctly. Now we can click Save, and that's it. We can see at the bottom right corner of the screen that DeepSeek is running. So let's give it a try. Explain what quantum computing is for a junior software developer. Now we are going to see the reasoning process. Remember, this is always going to be inside the think tags. Now the reasoning process is over. We can see the final answer down here. So that was it for this video. If you were having server issues, you can now run DeepSeek locally on your machine. And if you work for a business that is concerned about privacy issues, you can suggest this implementation and benefit from this powerful model without any concerns. So I'll see you in the next video.